Well, game one started well for FNATIC. They need to continue winning ways, though, because they've got to try and find a split here against Hungry for More. Game two is now ready. Let's go in to picks and bans. Hungry for More took game one with a very interesting composition. We saw a Chiron and Nemesis on the same team. They found wins as well, considering both of them not really considered meta at the moment.
Not at all. Chiron, I don't believe, was even picked. Actually, the Bush played Chiron middle earlier on.
That's true.
So in the Hunter position, Chiron hasn't been picked this season.
We saw Hungry for More do it earlier, like last week, actually. They picked it once in first pick because they didn't know what to pick, they said. So they went, let's just take Chiron.
Oh, is
They
that
wanted to
what
pick Chiron, but they were like, Ataraxia wants to play this god. He showed up on it there as well. Tier banned out, as is Giannis. Clearly the respect is shown to Variety with that tier ban.
Tier being played very well by Variety last game. They also respected the way the follow-up off of the Tier Fearless and the Sobek plucks by the Raijin. So FNATIC picking up Social. They're not straying away from their strategy. They're not taking away Raijin from PrettyPriMe. We'll see how Hungry for More response. If they're going to lean towards the Sobek and Raijin again, those were their first two picks.
Why not? Let's see, because I mean, Sol's going to go to more than likely Zyrhoes, but it is a flex pick again. We could see it go to Realzx. We'll see if he goes back to the Neith, but Raijin for PrettyPriMe once again, and for me personally, over in Europe, he's been the most successful person on the Raijin so far this season.
And he definitely needs to be the way they're initiating for him. When you're getting spoon-fed these targets like the way Sobek does, and they're so hungry, you know, the spoons and the forks and the knives.
No, you taste that?
Do I taste that?
It's a little bit salty.
Oh.
You think it's a salty run back?
Is it a salt? No, I don't think it's so. No, we got the Hui.
Okay. So Hui locked in, which kind of says to me that we're going to see Reels go on that, so Sol will be in the mid lane again. This time around, I believe they picked up the Bacchus at this stage of the game.
And Bacchus yet again, a lot of aggression between the Hui and the Bacchus. Neith leaning more passively, just throwing out World Weavers, building Transcends. However, now in this position with the Hui can go throwing dagger, trying to get lane pressure, Bacchus allowing him to get a kill.
Nemesis locked in again for Hungry for More. The same composition, the same start for them. They'll ban Vamana this time, though, away from FNATIC. And FNATIC will respond again with hitting Apollo. They're worried about Ataraxia's pool. I don't think they're worried about Chiron, I guess.
No, apparently they're not worried about Chiron. I like the Vamana ban. The way maniaKK played it at the start of the game was very good. There was a lot of pressure as well, followed up by Jifffy Serqet. So that was another reason.
Whoa. The Ares ban? They expected Sobek solo?
With the Ares ban, they could be potentially Sobek solo depending on what they play in the solo lane.
Well, this
Tier is banned out from Variety, so I don't understand necessarily why the Ares ban.
For FNATIC to do that, that tells me that Variety wants to play Sobek. That's what FNATIC think. FNATIC think that Sobek is solo. Otherwise, there's no reason to ban an Ares there, ever.
Normally, you don't really want to put a Guardian in the solo lane position with the speed buff changes, because if you fall behind early on, with the exception of Xing, right as I say that. But if you fall behind early on in the solo lane, you give up your jungle.
Okay, so now the play from FNATIC of the ban on Ares kind of comes into play a little bit more. Ares is very good against Serqet, Xing, and Bacchus for the most part. Those chains will lock them more down with the mobility of escaping. And Sobek, even though they weren't originally thinking it was going to be solo lane, they could flex that into solo lane Hungry for More after they see the last picks coming out. That's a very calculated ban that I feel from FNATIC, if that was the case.
Running Ares in the solo lane?
No, that calculation was ban Ares because Sobek could flex to solo against this composition and have Ares come in, played by MANALIKE, who's very good at it, to deal with the composition.
But with that strategy out, they do last pick Osiris, which is going to be very aggressive against the Xing. Let's see what happens in game number 2.
I don't have favorites when I cast Holy, but that FNATIC ban of Ares really makes me want FNATIC to win this, just for that ingenious idea behind it. Just the thought process of realizing that they could flex the Sobek to solo lane and potentially have Ares run a train on the entire team.
They've been definitely doing their homework if that's what they've practiced against, or whether it was other teams that have been doing it against them. You have to know where your strengths and weaknesses lie. So the weaknesses from FNATIC was definitely the cripples coming out of FNATIC, so they didn't want to deal with that, like you mentioned, the Serqet having 2 dashes that you don't want to have canceled. You have maniaKK playing Xing. and Big Man can't initiate if he gets crippled, so the Ares was a very calculated ban.
Very good decision from FNATIC. Whether or not that was the case of my thought process, we'll find out. But into the game we go. Early ward coverage this time around. FNATIC a little bit more this time. They've warded the left-hand Harpies, which tells me they want to try and invade those again and take the mid Harpies here. However, right-hand side, you see two very defensive wards from FNATIC. It appears that they were a little bit worried about Osiris Nemesis invading the Xing Serqet.
It's very possible for Osiris Nemesis to play aggressive. You already have 2 slows. You throw a curse somewhere there in the mix. That's 3 slows as well. Playing a Guardian, the soul lane is difficult enough as it is. If you get invaded without your blue buff, it becomes that much harder. So I respect the idea behind those 2 defensive wards from FNATIC.
Left Harpies do go the way of FNATIC here as we continue this on. Reels on the Ho Yi. Builds coming out from the 2 teams as well. Keep an eye, we've got BigManTingz with the Meditate against Sobek with MANALIKE with the Shell. And both junglers once again going Power Potion.
And on the Hunter side of things, both of them going for the throwing dagger, whereas the Neith last game went for Transcendence on Reels. Now Ataraxia playing the Neith still wants to play aggressive in laning phase, picking up throwing dagger.
Well, we'll see how that works out. Both junglers stay over in the solo lane once again this time round, though. Respect is shown from FNATIC, which relieves Hungry for More to go and take the Fire Imps and get that bonus 90 gold for themselves. And now the right-hand Harpies, well, Prime's already in position here. It's Zyrhoes versus the world for this one. And unless Zyrhoes can get a great Stellar Burst off, it's going to force a reset. That's the main thing. That worked out well for FNATIC.
They didn't see Jifffy around the corner. They didn't have any vision, was hungry for more, so they elected to play careful. Jifffy could have been rotating on the top side, maybe they thought, so they wanted to respect that potential rotation. They cleared the mid wave, and now they're going to start the right side mid Harpies, so this is a safer timing.
Well, this time around, Jifffy is going to come around the back, and he's got Zyrhoes in tow. They might try and catch him, but the minion wave is coming, and it's going to be spotted onto Zyrhoes there, but the kiss was good from Jifffy. The Thunder Crash is better from Prime, but can Jifffy get in range? No, Twig denies it with a nice slow.
Even though they don't find the kill there, PrettyPriMe is forced to use all of his potions. He has to be very careful now. Now, Jifffy is stealing the back right Harpies away from Hungry for More. So nice advantage for FNATIC, even though they don't find the kill.
You say that as well because they lost the right-hand Imps. They also lost the right-hand Harpies. So that just allowed them a little bit of a lead for Hungry for More. It denies a little bit back from them now as they're going to return to do their back Harpies on the left. And Jifffy and Zyrhoes, well, they're going to find 2 camps available for them on their own backside.
And with that, the middle wave will get pushed into the tier 1 mid tower, taking a little bit more gold away from Twig and PrettyPriMe. PrettyPriMe going to have to back prematurely at the 2 minute mark.
And look at what Twig's doing. He recognized which direction FNATIC went into, so Twig's going to swing around the other side. He's already level 5, denying Jifffy and Zyrhoes hitting level 5 themselves. He may get noticed by Zyrhoes and Jifffy, though, as his camp is being shown, and actually Variety, well aware that he could be in danger, makes a rotation.
Good rotation from Variety, allowing CaptainTwig to safely escape in the soul lane. And this is kind of the issues between the Guardian. You can't out-pressure a Warrior in the early laning phase, so that rotation can be easily made by Variety as a result. He pushes the wave, he out-rotates the Guardian, and allows CaptainTwig to escape.
Mid Harpies on the left due to spawn relatively soon as Twig takes out down the Fire Imps again. They're only alive for the first 10 minutes, so that bonus gold early on can help out. BigManTingz going to notice MANALIKE on a rotation, but MANALIKE, he knew what was going on there. He knew the jig was up and dashed away.
Jifffy not able to find the taunt onto MANALIKE. Left side mid Harpies are respawning here, and Realzx is here as well, making sure that FNATIC secure these left side mid Harpies.
But MANALIKE is still here to try and contest. He's going to pluck Jifffy, and the World Weaver's coming out too. It will hit him when he was trying to ambush away. Meditation comes out from BigManTingz to keep him alive, but Jifffy still falls as the drums of war of Prime secure first blood.
The damage from this Raijin is just so high. Hungry for More leaning on this pick. They first pick it yet again, and it's working wonders for them, giving them first blood. Realzx was there initially for the team fight. They thought that, okay, Hungry for More is conceding this. We have 4 people here. There's no way they're going to fight into us, so I'm going to rotate over to the duel lane, trying to secure this farm over here for me while the rest of my team secure it, but unfortunately, the team fight did actually happen.
Well, speed buffs are spawn and FNATIC doing that as we tune in with maniaKK on the Xing 10. He played a lot of it last year, Anatoly. We saw a lot of Xing 10 in the solo lane, and it looks like it's going to be heading back to business as usual for these Guardians.
With his second ability, the knock-up, having the root again available, a little bit more damage on his Furious Roar. The ultimate taking a little bit of a hit with the wind-up channel time. However, it still feels a little bit more fluid now to play Xing Chen again.
I love what we saw out of Variety there as well. He actually kept poking down maniaKK, and it immediately forced maniaKK to definitely invest into a teleport, which he might not have wanted to do because the minion wave was coming in, didn't want to lose it, so teleport is used. So advantage for Variety if he chooses not to teleport back here. He can have that available for a Gold Fury.
Could potentially have that. However, there is 2 people in the soul lane, so he has to respond with a teleport unless he wants to concede the wave under his tower.
On his way over as well, going to catch maniaKK on this rotation. maniaKK not scared to knock him up and give him a bit of a route there onto Twig, but Twig doesn't recognize Jifffy still here and has to dash away from the danger. Variety gets the sash off on to maniaKK, but maniaKK's going to dash away from that as well.
Meanwhile, PrettyPriMe was able to pick up those Fire Giant Imps so far. Hungry for More really good about those Fire Giant Imps. That gold does stack at the end of the day whenever you consistently do it on every 2 minutes. That's 90 gold every 2 minutes.
Look at Hungry for More though, still trying to go aggressive. Tingz recognizes this though. Twig is actually under pressure, but so is Jifffy the World Weaver. maniaKK gets hit by the drums, and the drums did so much work there that maniaKK should fall down. He uses the ultimate to buy himself a moment, but MANALIKE will pick up the 2nd kill of the game.
There was nowhere for him to go. His escape was down in the meantime. BigManTingz trying to find a return kill, however, with Jifffy following up.
Perfect. And now he's going to spread the poison onto Variety as well. Variety, Lord of the Afterlife, away from the danger. The poison ticks, but it's not enough for the kill. However, lane pressure. This could be a tier 1 here, Toli.
It should be a tier 1 too, because Variety's teleports down, and he actually canceled his back, and he's going to concede the tower even further. Nemesis coming around the corner, just going to try to maybe do the blue buff before the rest of FNATIC come.
Good call for him to go to this blue buff. Hopefully FNATIC don't realize this though, because obviously he's only got dashes to escape this at the moment in the pit. Blue buff getting low, and he will be secured by Twig, but can he get away from the danger? Answer, yes.
Zigzags around the blue buff, drops it for Variety to pick up later on, as the rest of FNATIC, after getting the tier 1 tower, looking for something else to do. Left side mid Harpies are spawning, and Realzx is coming around the corner. This time, I'm pretty sure he's going to stick around.
Well, PrettyPriMe is going to be here, but they immediately get ricocheted to death. That's the power of the whole Yi mid.
The triple ricochet was very well executed. You can definitely tell that Realzx has been practicing that left side mid Harpy ricochet, and that's something that you need to do with many gods, not just Hui. Hui is like the most obvious god that you should practice in jungle. Practice like, okay, I can ricochet off here, but sometimes there are other abilities as well that you could practice alongside a wall, through a wall, practicing an ability that goes through a wall. It's like, just go into jungle practice every now and then and see the travel time between some of these abilities and see the timings.
Travel time is very important as well, which is underestimated by a lot of players.
It could go a long way. We saw the Fenrir against the Ao Kuang. I forgot who it was exactly. I think it was CaptainTwig playing the... No, it wasn't. It was Homifei playing the Fenrir yesterday, I think it was. Caught an Ao Kuang during Water Illusion.
Hold that for a second, because speed buff invaded by Hungry for More. You saw the Purification forced on Prime from the flop from BigManTingz, but there's maniaKK with the washing machine, and the washing machine is empty at the moment. However, the drums were not Prime, put a lot of poke pressure down on to FNATIC and forced them back, and allowing Hungry for More to take the speed and escape.
And now right side mid Harpies are being started for Hungry for More as a result. They're going to get their speed buff in return. Red buff is available to them as well. maniaKK and Jifffy were very low. maniaKK's backing now. His teleport is available to him. Well, he starts his Breastplate of Valor as he'll return to the lane. FNATIC just kind of chilling right now.
This is a very nicely crafted composition from Hungry for More here. They've got a nice balance of everything, it seems. Disengage, engage. They've got plenty of CC in this, but the mobility to escape as well. And it's working out so well for them. Is this just like going... The last few patches is where we see most of these gods have little touches to them, is the reason we may see them back now.
A lot of gods come and go with patches and seasons. You know, some players forget about certain gods. There's some guardians that you could run in the soul lane. There's a slight risk in the early game, but as long as you can get through that, they make a big impact in the mid-game teamfights, such as Xing, for example. He struggles early on against warriors, but in teamfights, he'll be making himself known in that teamfight. A lot of different variety between Hungry for More's comp, like you mentioned. They have the slows, they have the displacement between the Sobek and the Raijin, and they have the root from Ataraxia.
Really nice combination coming out. Gold lead is slightly in their favor. Experience, however, we go to the graphs. We should see how much of a tail that is, and it's 2,000 at the moment as the washing machine comes out from maniaKK again. Good poke pressure on Variety, who's not really worried here. Just going to throw out the sash more than anything to get himself away.
And this is when Xing starts to slowly take over in the soul lane once your Furious Roar gets higher level, doing a lot of damage.
Jifffy just came around the corner at exactly the same time there as Variety jumps over the wall, Lord of the Afterlife. He'll die, and guess what? An extra prize for him is the blue buff just spawned, so they'll be able to pick that out. But no, they won't go for the blue there, FNATIC. They're trying to swing around to defend the Gold Fury when Jifffy was spotted there.
Making sure that the more important objective wasn't taken by Hungry for More. FNATIC recognizing that beautifully, giving up the blue buff. Oh, BigManTingz getting plucked under tower. Nemesis ulti as well.
And this is the same story for BigManTingz time and time again on the Bacchus against this comp. He goes in, he misses the flopper, even if he hits it, they turn on him, they burst him, and now Hungry for More have a power play again around this Gold Fury.
Nemesis ulti amplifying the Raijin ulti yet again. Similar story to game number 1 as we do have Variety teleporting in, trying to zone out Realzx as the rest of his team is doing Gold Fury, and PrettyPriMe also looking to zone.
Got to put some pressure on Variety. Stellar Burst going to come out from Variety, but Hungry for More gets the Gold Fury, and now immediately FNATIC trying to get away, but Jifffy goes in deep, was looking for somebody lazy back in here. Not going to find it though, he just found a Sobek waiting for him, looking to pluck him out, so he returns to mid.
What I like what Hungry for More did there was they all escaped around the dual lane side. None of them fanned off towards middle. All 5 members backed together in that specific area. Had one person isolated themselves from the rest towards Jifffy, that was what Jifffy was waiting for. All right, like, come on, come around this corner. I'm waiting for you.
I love what Jifffy did there. He went mid, farmed it a little bit, and went, oh yeah, that blue buff was up on the right-hand side. I'll go steal that. And Variety's like, no, no, son. No, I'm not going back. I want my blue. And so he's going to get there just in time. Unfortunate for Jifffy, but I like the idea.
Variety having height of Nami in line, allowing him to kind of contest Jifffy in that situation with a lot of physical defense.
Yeah, just keeps him pretty much safe there. Zyrhoes in the mid lane as we tune in with BigManTingz, clearing out wards in the jungle. Has managed to complete the Dynasty Plate Helm and now working towards what looks like, once again, the same sort of build we saw last time, the attack speed option.
He's still leaning more towards that sieging the tower objective. We saw it work out really well when they got the tier 2 tower. Variety in a lot of trouble as he gets Serqet ultimate. maniaKK going to use the washing machine as well.
You mentioned had an Armenian line there, but it doesn't stop true damage from the ultimate from Jifffy. Will Weaver did a lot though to Jifffy. The power was good enough there. However, maniaKK should be able to clean up this kill on Variety. The roar is there, but hanging around so long has now allowed Twig to come in. Jiffy's going to abandon all hope onto maniaKK, and the Guardian is against 2. Guardian and Assassin going to take out 1. Supernova goes off though from Zyrhoes, going to put some pressure on MANALIKE, who doesn't have much of an escape here. Intoxicate should secure the kill. Minion blocks are good, but not good enough to secure it. Twig though was beaten down on Zyrhoes' face, and the Prime crashes in. Gonna bring out the drums and find himself a kill.
So far, it's a 2-for-2 exchange as we have more rotations. Jifffy trying to make an impact. Can he find another kill? CaptainTwig taking the spill. Now Jifffy going to disengage. So far, it's a 3-for-2 in the favor of FNATIC. Meanwhile, Realzx is dancing around with Ataraxia around the red buff. A little ring around the rose. He's not going to find the posies.
Well, Ricochet's on cooldown now. Ataraxia does have Spirit Arrow available, so Realzx has to respect that. He still wants to contest this buff, but at the moment, it's going to be Ricochet versus Spirit Arrow, and I'm pretty sure you're going to need a double bounce for that. But Ataraxia will secure the red buff for his team. Well played on the defense from Hungry for More.
And the way he secured that red buff, he also aimed the arrow to the possible angle that Realzx was coming from. So even if Realzx was poking his head around the corner, he would have got rooted, and Ataraxia could have potentially followed that up with more damage. I like that idea.
5-5 is the scoreline. Gold lead still at 2,000 in favor of Hungry for More. 3,000 experiences. Jifffy gets crashed on again as MANALIKE finds a pluck. Will Weaver, good night, sweet Prince Jifffy. You will fall again to the World Weaver of Fate.
And with that play, with that one person down, Hungry for More has a little bit of a power play as they do find the purification onto Zyrhoes. Getting bursted so fast, force the Sanctuary. This could be another secondary kill.
One hit is all they need, and they're going to dive all the way. MANALIKE leading the charge allows CaptainTwig to dash in and pick it up. BigManTingz can only stand and belch.
And what turned into a one-man power play turns into 2. Gold Fury is still down. Tier 1 mid tower still available for Hungry for More. Looks like that's where they're setting their sights. Still having one member farming in the silence, but all they need is those 3 in the middle.
And FNATIC, after game 1, they looked at the game, and we mentioned the picks and bans, and they said it was Variety's tier that was the biggest issue. Looking at this, is it?
Well, the way they've been playing it with Raijin, look at the damage coming out of Raijin already. Just so much damage. Jifffy instantly falling right now. maniaKK in a lot of trouble as well as he gets dived by Variety.
Nice work from Variety there. Speed buff now available as Hungry for More take 2 more members. Ataraxia going to swing mid lane. Realzx in tow though with the mark onto Ataraxia, but he's already taken a little bit of poke, which is allowing with this minion wave the tier 2 to be chipped away. It's at half health. They're going to run out of minions soon, and that's why Realzx drops the Suns. But Ataraxia's positioning, he's not in him, you know. They're still poking away at it, and they'll get the tier 2 as well as the speed buff.
Not only, like you just mentioned, the speed buff, most importantly, they are so confident of their lead that they're spreading their objective tasks right now. They got the tier 2 tower and the speed buff at the same time, and then they get the right side mid Harpies. They're not worried about the 3 men remaining from FNATIC. Just beautiful objective control coming out of Hungry for More this game.
You just saw some pings go down on the Gold Fury there as well. I think they're going to set up for that next Hungry for More. Or it could have been FNATIC saying, we need that warded now. It's a very critical moment in the game. And FNATIC can't give up this next Gold Fury here, Tolly. Otherwise, I think the back of the game's broken already.
They can't. They're down 6,000 gold right now at the 14-minute mark. It's not looking good for them right now. Gold Fury is respawning in 10 seconds. Both these teams know exactly when it is. You have to put that 5-minute internal cooldown timer on the back of your mind moving forward. So
I did not realize the difference in gold between the two junglers here. There is a whole Spirit Robe advantage between the two. We did just see Jifffy go back looking towards Wing Blade there, but that's pretty much a whole Spirit Robe. That's insane.
We look at the gold per minute. Nemesis sitting at 470, whereas Jiffy's at 350, a whole difference of 120.
That's also playstyles from these two players. Jifffy, very aggressive, looking to fight, looking to gank with the Serqet. Meanwhile, CaptainTwig, very well known to just look to farm. He'd rather farm and get ahead than go for ganks that don't become successful.
The difference between this aggression is Ataraxia actually taking a lot of damage, forced to use Sanctuary.
Backflip was good, but will the poison tick enough? It won't, you know. Now there's a turnaround as Twig comes in. Realzx has to purify away, being run down by CaptainTwig. His former jungler is now trying to still find the pick, but instead he's going to change his attention to BigManTingz, who pops a sprint. Jifffy in the jungle will fall to Variety, and Intoxicate used by BigManTingz to try and create a zone to stop the mob being chased down. maniaKK forced to ult defensively to get some peel for Zyrhoes there, but they're giving up some jungle once again as red buff is on the map, and Hungry for More, they'll take the victory.
FNATIC can't get anything out of these engagements. They force a Sanctuary, but then they overextend and they get instantly turned on into Hungry for More's jungle. The way they disengage could have been done a lot more cleanly and safely, and as a result, Hungry for More find the pick, force ultimates defensively, and now they start the Gold Fury yet again.
Variety's at half health here, so you've got to be careful, but the block does connect onto a very good target in maniaKK, and the drums beat down on his face from Prime again, who gets himself the kill. Meanwhile, MANALIKE zoning out Realzx is on the left-hand side. You also saw Twig keeping Zyrhoes at bay. BigManTingz can only stand and watch as Twig falls down as well. Belch comes out. Jifffy is here. Kiss off the mark. Gold Fury goes the way of Hungry for More.
PrettyPriMe is so patient about using his ultimate only once the Sobek finds the pluck. Right there, he found the pluck onto maniaKK. PrettyPriMe follows up with his ultimate. Easy cleanup, and then the Gold Fury gets taken yet again by Hungry for More, extending their lead even further to about 9,000 at the close to 17-minute mark.
Real's just trying to find farm underneath in his lane. In the end, no surrender vote. Less than 17 minutes in, Hungry for More have defeated FNATIC 2-0.
That was a very impressive performance from Hungry for More. Getting these two wins puts them at 8 and 10 right now. Their next opponent is Torpedo, and they need to get these two wins if they want to squeeze into that top 4, top 3.
And there we go. It's one of those catapults these games could be for Hungry for More to have the shot at it. We said FNATIC, Torpedo, if they lose to those teams or split with them, they're going to be fighting relegations. Well, they weren't, and Ataraxia was a focal point of that game as long as the whole of Hungry for More, to be fair. That composition crafted game 1, the Chiron.
We didn't expect anything out of the Chiron in the beginning of the game, but his mechanics, hitting all 3 snipes at the beginning, was very good. The second ultimate as well, making sure that PrettyPriMe gets out, but goes back towards the Gold Fury, finding the kill onto Big Man.
Just through the wall every time, just hitting ultimate after ultimate after ultimate, hitting those points, and then obviously he's still got masterful shot to follow this up as well. But what I like to notice in this, Tolly, is that whenever Jifffy turns up, he helps out his backline, his fellow backline members, to bring down these assassins that are coming after them.
A lot of assassins in the backline. PrettyPriMe and Ataraxia playing very well. Those line ultimates that they had in the first game was very successful for their success, and always taking advantage off of the Bacchus belly flop.
Yeah, now we're going to see, continue on in game 2. Ataraxia charging Will Weaver, and he made an impact with that as well early on onto Jifffy. It was just constant Will Weaver's map presence. We saw Realzx try to do the same thing the last game, but it just didn't work out.
The only difference was the fact that the rest of the supporting cast for Hungry for More were more successful in the 4v4, which allowed the World Weaver to do more damage.
Absolutely beautiful performance from Hungry for More. Let's see how the standings influence things. Well, FNATIC, they will stay at the bottom, now slipping to 5 and 15. Hungry for More, though, go above Leftovers, and are only 1 game behind Dignitas now.
And if they win this next 2 against Torpedo, they'll be even at 10 and 10. And in Saturday's matches, we have Panthera versus Torpedo, Cringe Crew against Dignitas, Envious versus Denial, and lastly, Soar against Allegiance for the Sunday matches.
And that's all Sunday and Saturday to look forward to. That was the end of our broadcast today. Totally exciting things in Europe on the first day of Meta. Who do you expect to go to DreamHack, first of all?
I definitely expect Panthera to get there, guaranteed. The next two, okay, I'll give it to Cringe Crew.
Oh,
I'll give it to Cringe Crew. And then I would have to safely say Paradigm.
Okay. Paradigm, Cringe Crew, and Panthera for him. But what about all you other Europeans? Are you going to go to DreamHack? Tickets are on sale right now at dreamhack.se. 9 international teams will be there representing Smite in the Masters, as well as the Founders Tournament for Paladins will also be going on. I hope to see you all there, because we should all be there too. But from all of us here, that's the end of hi-rez TV today. Thank you so much for joining us. Efthor, Adonis, myself, Toli, the production crew, and of course, Raymond Peckies. We'll see you all later.
We love Peckies.
We